Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this session today. We're just waiting for another MC to join, but up until then, I'll just take the reins. As Tom has shared on the Zoom chat, if you haven't changed your name, please change your name accordingly. And we're waiting for a couple more people to get in, and we should be able to start right away. Okay, I think everyone's almost in.
Good morning. Hi, Hasumi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Okay, so Tom, can you stop sharing, and maybe Komaki-san can start sharing the Miro board, and we can start from there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, Hasumi, could you share for me?
Oh, sure, of course.
We can just...
One moment. Let me get to the opening page. Okay. Can everyone see the slide? If you can, a thumbs up or any reaction would be great. Perfect. I hand on the baton to you.
Great. Good morning, everyone. I am Ingrid Komaki-Saito. Welcome to Ocean Commons and Ecotourism in Asia, Mutual Learnings from Vietnam, Thailand, and Japan. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. Hasumi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah. Hi. I'm Hasumi. I'm the fellow MC for this session, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes out of this very jam-packed, innovative session. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going through this very intense journey with all of you. Great.
Thank you for that. So we will be your two MCs today. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Today we have 12 participants from Thailand, 12 from Vietnam, and 6 from Japan. And we also have participants from 8 other countries, which are namely the Philippines, Cambodia, Nepal, Pakistan, Tunisia, United States of America, Indonesia, and Myanmar. So welcome to you all. I hope everyone has checked out the Miro platform that we will be using today. This is where most of our activities will take place, and Hasumi is handling the Miro board right now. And while listening to the talks, which will follow from now on, please be sure to write questions into the chat box and mention who the questions are for. The questions will be answered later on during the question and answer session. So firstly, let us invite Dr. Narumi Yoshikawa, the PI of this project, to officially launch the workshop. Dr. Yoshikawa, please take it away.
Thank you, Komaki-san. So good morning, everyone, and sawadee-ka and xin chào. So welcome to our seminar of Ocean Commons. I'm Narumi Yoshikawa. I'm a researcher for Sustainable Natural Resource Management. I'm working in the State University of Hiroshima. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome you to have been with us for a long time now, as well as those who are new to our Ocean Commons meeting. Today marks our international meeting founded by Toyota Foundations, and we are proud to be able to host it today. This international project, Empathy by Learning from Neighbors, it has a mission of exchanging our experience on common issues in Asia by focusing on deepening and mutual understanding, knowledge sharing among the people, on the ground in the East and Southeastern Asia who are finding solutions to shared issues. A team of multinational participations from the diverse backgrounds can form collaborations and creative alliance to explore, implement, and building solutions. The programs hopes that those partnerships across the nationalities and organizations will bring about significant social change by facilitating the process of mutual learning. Today, we would like to keep our mutual understanding and dialogue about the ocean plastic problem. Continuing from the seminar held in Thailand in February 1916, today I would like to share the case studies of Vietnam and Japan and think about the platform necessary for a problem solving the new way of ecotourism. Annually, 8 million metric tons of plastic waste is discharged into the ocean zones, causing the serious damage to fisheries and the cultural ecosystem in each country. Our project has an aim to examine the potential for problem solving based on the civil platform by assessing a new ecotourism model, building a civil platform, and establish a system of monitoring analysis and communications of the plastic pollutions through partnership with Iriomote Island, where Japan's first ecotourism association has been started, and as well as the Thailand and Vietnam, where the market economy has widely scattered and extended, and by the huge ecotourism system. So I hope that today's dialogue will take the next steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yoshikawa, for that very enlightening opening. Now we will move on to the talks from 3 focus countries. The first is the briefing on the activity in Thailand and that we had back in 2020. The deputy PI of this project, Dr. Takuji Tsusaka, will walk you through what transpired during the event in Thailand. Over to you, Dr. Takuji Tsusaka.
Thank you, Komaki-san, for the introduction. Actually, could someone allow me to share the PowerPoint? No, I cannot. Okay. Yeah, now it goes. Thank you. All right. So, do you see the shared screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. Right. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is Taku speaking. Let me brief you on what we had and observed in the Thai session of this project back in February 2020. Yeah, so that was just before the COVID-19 emerged. We were in old normal. Right. Okay. So actually, prior to that, in October, just like 4 months before, we had the project grant ceremony in Tokyo. This is Narumi receiving the certificate, and then in the following, this was the following day, we had the collective kickoff session at the foundation's office. So I represented this project. And also other participants, also other projects joined. And in December, still 2019, I paid a scoping visit to Iriomote and observed the local situation. Of course, the pollution has seasonality based on the changes in the ocean currents. So this was the situated. This was what it was like during winter. Yeah, that particular part of the island. So this is called Nakano Beach. Nakano Beach is on the northern shore, one of the popular beaches of the island. Yeah, so as you can see, most of the waste was plastic. Most of it came from abroad. Yeah, like this. Yeah, South Korea, mainland China, Vietnam. Yeah, this is Taiwan, Republic of China. So these things drifted all the way from India and even the United Kingdom. Okay, so this scene was on the way from Star Sand Beach to Hara Beach. Yeah, so everything was on the northern part of the island. So now in Thailand, it's the following year, actually last year, 2020. We visited Bampu Recreation Center in Samut Prakan province. Yeah, just outside the Bangkok metropolitan area. Yeah, actually, I didn't join, but yeah, but many people joined, and especially the organizing committee members. Most of us joined that one, and then yeah, but young participants are a bit different this time. Okay, yeah, they wore masks, but not for the COVID. Okay, this was for air pollution concern. Yeah. Okay, and then yeah, like this, Chula University professor, staff, and yeah, I think Hizuki-san right here, one of our judges today. Then we had the this long 2-day so-called hackathon, dubbed as SDG hackathon. Okay, so this is the magnificent library, the new library in Chula. Yeah, so we gathered there, and they put their minds together. Okay, now let me show you the video footage. There's one done by Mr. Tom. Yeah, in order to give you the overview of the last sessions in Thailand. So give me a few seconds, please. Okay, do you hear the sound properly?
local Thai resorts in Thailand, and they're very popular among tourists. All that will according to the UN SDGs 8 goals. So the book guidelines for the consumer to go in, that is our 6 months, and this due in the eco-friendly guideline. If you can do it for 3 months, we will help you translate the Thai menu because most of them are in Thai, but actually they are so good. The foreigners or the tourists review. Thank you. To remove the
some duties and micro taken from them. So we don't have any plan to tie up with a single brand producer, right? So at this point, if you are not tying up with a single
of today, the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix will be tickets, tickets.
Yes, as I in the opening ceremony.
And the winner of the Hackathon 2020 goes to group number 4. Hold on to yourself. Congratulations, group number 4.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, this is how it went in Thailand last year. Thanks everyone for watching. Obviously, mitigation of each beach pollution is challenging because of a lot of the waste comes from abroad, beyond the control by the locality. But there should be a lot we can do in terms of adaptation. Okay, anyway, thanks Tom for the video. And in the interest of time, let me now pass the floor from Thailand to Japan and then to Vietnam. Thank you again. Please enjoy the show.
Thank you so much for that amazing video and the recap, and for bringing us on the same page. Next, we can proceed to the other countries. So now we are going to hear 2 short input seminars from Japan. The first one is from the Ecotourism Association of Iriomote Island. Since the representative, Miss Harumi Tokuoka, is unavailable on weekends, Dr. Yoshikawa will present the material on her behalf.
Okay. Hello again. So I'm so very happy to remember the meeting in successfully held in Thailand. So I wanted to connect this experience to the next step with you today. So thank you very much, Komaki. So I would like to introduce the case model of Iriomote Ecotourism Associations of Iriomote Island in Japan. instead of the Miss Harumi Tokuoka, but we collaborate each other now. So we have several workshop and active learning in both the university and this associations. And so let's get started. Can you see that PowerPoint?
Yes, we can.
Yay. So I should start. So currently 8 billion tons of plastic waste discharged into the ocean area annually, causing enormous damage to the fishing and the cultural ecosystem of each country. Of course, in this island, Iriomote Island. So the purpose of today's Oceans Commons meeting is to examine the citizen participatory problem solving method while examining new method of new ecotourism. So about the Iriomote Island, let's see the here is the Iriomote Island, and is located in the southwestern part of Japan. It's a remote island, and with a mangrove-covered coastal area and river, and is a part of Iriomote Ishigaki National Park, where Iriomote cats live. So Iriomote cat is a subspecies of a leopard cat that lives exclusively on the Japanese island of Iriomote, and it has been listed as a critically endangered species on the ICUN Red List in since 2008. It's endangered species of Iriomote Island. People maintain the traditional marine culture at these festivals that has become a cultural heritage in Japan. This festival has a root from Taiwan, and also it is a hidden marine lit spot in the world famous place where you can enjoy the beautiful marine leisure. It's really beautiful island. So let me introduce the Iriomote Ecotourism Associations. It is a non-profit organization established in 1996. Formerly, their activities started about 1970s, but officially their associations become a non-profit style, and so their activity started from 1996. And so we have been conducting the surveys and enlightenment activities on the marine debris from many years. And also we are conducting analysis and the natural factors, such as changes in tidal current, in the impact of the garbage attached to the international organs of wild animals that are contaminated with microplastics and cognitive activities from citizens and residents. So this is 4 points of Iriomote Ecotourism Association's task: environmental education, cultural inheritance, and ecotourism, and environmental conservation, of course. And about ecotourism. Ecotourism builds an independent local economy by using the method of tourism. And the environmental education on the premise of preservation and inheriting the natural environment and the local culture. Today, ecotourism has established itself as a field of tourism, has grown into the major industry in Iriomote Island. it is very important to the sustain the industry in the ecotourism in Iriomote Island. And let's see the pictures. In recent years, a large amount of drifting debris has been scattered on the mangrove trees and the coastal area. And the most popular natural experience tourist site of ecotourism of Iriomote Island is Funaura Bay. Is a famous place for the ecotourism. It's had a great damage from the drifted garbage of plastic pollutions. And also it is very difficult point. So because it requires a high processing cost, in a small municipality with a population of several thousand, there is no room to dispose of drifting garbage that drifted every day. In addition, there are no facilities or offices to treat industrial waste on the remote island. Even if it is collected by volunteers, the subsequent processing will be a huge amount of money, including the transportation cost at the venue, which is too burdensome. It is big issues for the residents. And so residents start to think about and act themselves. What can the residents do themselves? And what does the plastic trash comes from? So local residents decided to regularly check for the plastic waste washed ashore on the beach. Residents look up the country of the origin from the barcode on the PET bottles to find out where they came from. So let's see the contents of the drifting garbage. You can see the styrofoam and fishing tackle ropes and the plastic buoys and the other plastic products, of course, PET bottles, we can see. So as a result, we can say, it can be said that 30% of garbage can be reduced by the effort of citizens, not only in the residents in the Iriomote Island. So in 2003, the local residents started to activity to find out the country of origin from PET bottles barcode. So this is the outcome of residents' activity of the monitorings. So we can find some outcome. So countries from the Eastern Asian country, China, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea is the most percent. Yes, it is more than 90% it covered. But in recent years, it turns out the number of the drifts from the Southeastern Asia trends to increase by year in these years. To solve the endless maritime debris problems, so we learned big lessons through this maritime debris problem. So people said that once we start working, we will definitely have faster time to solve the problem. So what we needed to do in the future, in the next steps. So people point out the 3 points here. Local collaboration between municipalities and the residents. So it is clear that the goal can be reached sooner if the municipalities and the residents cooperate. And next, of course, product improvement we need. So, and also the support of the building, the corporations system is required to control the generation of drifting garbage. So we need to collect the data by grassroots activity that will support the construction of a system in the next steps and each area. So residents of ecotourism, residents of Iriomote Island, they would not stop to collect their own power, and so they could not stop their own activities because of the lack of the partnership and of course the platform to understand each other, that fact of ocean garbage. So nowadays, the company of the outdoor ecotourism started to the charity activities to maintain the ecosystem of a local community of ecotourism in Iriomote Island. This is Us for Iriomote project by the company of King. They produced several products to keep up their activity and to make a charity. And also the Ecotourism Association, of course, they started to their own activity, and so they developed their own original goods to scale up their activities. This is a garbage bag. So small repayment, small repayment to nature we can do as a tourist. So this is a campaign of Ecotourism Association in Iriomote Island. So the tourists have to buy this beach clean bag. The cost is like 500 yen. And so during their activities in the island, so they keep to bring this bag, and so they have to carry back their own garbage to their home directly from Iriomote Island. This is a new activity of ecotourism associations. So let's get wrap up. So although the cultures and ecosystem of food culture in this area depends deeply on the maritime environment, there is a lot of room to research on the scale and the content of a specific damage, and there is a lack of platforms of problem solving. So we introduced a monitoring system at the citizen level on Ecotourism Association of Iriomote Island. But how can this activity incorporated into a new ecotourism method? We would like to introduce the citizen participation type joint monitoring and management system of marine debris and seek a new problem-solving ecotourism method. So we hope to have a dialogue with the countries in Asian countries and the South Asian countries. And of course, this time, 3 countries of Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan are required to discuss the impact of marine plastic waste and build a platform from the problem solving. So we believe that These activities will promote citizens' participatory solutions, actions, and contribute to the platform and joint management and commons. We should build up on the next step to solve the ocean garbage. So we need to international platform for this program. Citizens' participations for new ecotourism is we needed to really start to think about what kind of new ecotourism we should establish for solving the plastic pollutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yoshikawa, for that presentation. Next, we will be moving on to the representative of Tango Experiencing Company, Mr. Koji Yasumi. He will introduce his activities in Kyotango City of Kyoto Prefecture. His presentation comes along with the English subtitle provided by Ms. Keiko Noboru.
Yes, hello, Hasumi. Yeah,
こんにちは。はい、やすみです。
Hello.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Yes, thank you very much. So I should start the movie. I'm sorry, just a moment.
.皆さん、こんにちは。安見浩二と言います。今日は、録画で申し訳ないんですけども、僕の活動紹介の方をさせていただきたいと思います。早速ですが、画面の共有をいたします。はい。改めまして、こんにちは。安見浩二と言います。僕は今、京都府の京丹後市で、地域おこし協力隊という地域の方と一緒に地域課題を解決したり、街を活性化させる取り組みを、しております。また、単語エクスペリエンスという個人事業を立ち上げて、主にツアーガイドとか、あと、環境活動を行っています。プロフィールは、いつもこんな感じで家族ぐるみで僕を知ってほしいという思いで、息子と一緒に写ったこの写真を使っています。右は長男、健吾、小学校2年生。左は光太、年長。で、僕はツアーガイドでいつもやっさんって呼んでくれって言ってるので、やっさんって書いてます。
Sorry, everyone. Can you see the English text in the chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's get started again.
はい。そんな僕ですが、ここ、京丹後市の出身ではなくてですね、約2年前に同じ京都府の京都市から、京丹後市に移住してきました。今住んでいるところはですね、こちら。なんと、海まで歩いて500メートル。で、僕の足だと歩いて5分の場所。海が大好きな僕にとってはもう最高な環境なんです。そんな僕の暮らしや活動を今日は紹介していきたいと思います。これは夏の様子なんですけども、まず朝は子供を保育園に送るとき、海を眺めながら行くことができます。で、仕事や学校や保育園が終わると、自転車を使ったり、また歩いて行ったりして、よく海に行きます。で、海に行くとですね、友達の家族に出会えたり、でそして、日が暮れるまで、ゆっくり海で遊ぶことができます。でまた、こういった単語の魅力をいろんな人に体験してもらおうと思って、先ほど言った単語エクスペリエンスでは、主に e バイクと呼ばれる電動自転車を使って、単語のありのままの自然を感じることのできるサイクリングツアーを、現在行っています。はい、こんな感じですね。 で、丹後の暮らしの中で日々感じる自然の魅力をこれからたくさんの人に伝えていこうと思ってたんですが、でも、海や自然が身近な存在になって、逆に気づいたことがあります。それが、これ、海ゴミの問題です。海水浴シーズンには、沖縄のように綺麗な海のある丹後なんですけども、冬になるとゴミで溢れ返ってました。初めて見た時にはびっくりして町の人に相談に行きました。すると教えてくださったのが、年間を通じて地域では海岸清掃をしていて、観光客が来る夏の海水浴シーズンには特に頻度を増して、海岸清掃をしてくださっているのですが、それが冬になると波とか風がすごい強くなるので、海からどんどんゴミが流れ着いてくるんです。僕は二児の父でありながら、海がそんな状態になっていることを今まで知らなかったんですよね。で、すごいなんか自分が情けなく思って、この子たちの将来、そしてその先の地球を生きる人たちのためにも、もうやっぱり行動を起こしていかないといけないなっていうふうに思うようになりました。とはいえ、何からしたらいいやっていうことで、これまた地域の人に相談に行ったところ、海岸清掃に参加してみたらっていうふうに言われました。それから僕は海岸清掃を始めるようになり、今では町の人と一緒に誰でも参加できる楽しい海岸清掃っていうのを企画していくようになりました。この写真は本当にちっちゃい赤ちゃんを抱いたお父さんお母さんでも参加できるみたいな海岸清掃を企画した写真で引っ張ってみたり、これも子供も一緒に参加してますね。で、こんな感じでどんどん活動していったわけなんですけども、海岸清掃に参加する側だったら、海のゴミを集めて、それで終了で終われるんですけども、主催してみて分かったこと、そして問題がまた一つ出てきたんですね。それは、集めたゴミを処分場に持っていかないといけないということです。処分場では、海のゴミは量が多くて、種類も多いし、また不純物という、砂や油とか、フジツボとかがいっぱいついていて、分別が困難なためにですね、もう山にそのまま埋め立てられているっていうことが分かりました。で、この写真にある僕の家の一番近くの処分場が、もうあと2年でいっぱいになるっていうことも知りました。で、次に処分場にするもう山も決定しているそうです。で、これを同じように100年、200年と続けていったら、もうこれ丹後の山がもうゴミだらけになってしまうんじゃないかっていうふうに思いました。ってことはもうビーチクリーンだけでは問題は解決できないというふうにこれを見て、またショックを受けたんですよね。で、これからは、ゴミを出さないとか、ゴミを減らすことはもちろん、ゴミをリサイクルしたり活用したり、循環させていく必要があるんじゃないかなと思ったんですけども、じゃあどうすればいいねんっていう、また、壁っていうか課題が、立ちはだかったんですね。するとまたですね、友人が、アドバイスをくれて、プレシャスプラスチックっていう、オランダで生まれた個人でもできるプラスチックリサイクルプロジェクトっていうのを教えてくれました。これですね。で、プレシャスプラスチックっていうのは家庭から出たゴミ、右側。で、左側の、あとは海岸清掃で拾ったゴミなんかを、こんな感じのマシンを使ってリサイクルしていきます。このリサイクルマシンも設計図とか作り方とかをすべてインターネットで無料で公開されていまして、自由に使うことができるんですね。で、このマシンを使ってプラスチックをバラバラにして溶かして、こういう製品を作っていくわけです。ただ作り方は公開されているものの、鉄鋼の技術、鉄を加工する技術とか、機械が分かっていないとこれ作れないんですよ。で当然僕はそんなことやったことなかったので、どうしようということで、そしたら、日本で初めてプレシャスプラスチックをやった人が鹿児島県のダイナミックラボっていうところにいるっていうのを聞いて、その人に作り方を教わったんです。はい。で、今、自宅兼事務所兼、工場には、3台のプレシャスプラスチックマシンがあります。で、自宅で僕はプラスチックをリサイクルすることができるようになりました。今ではいろんな企業さんとか学生さんたちが見に来てくれるようになって、また最近ではですね、はい。こんなものを作ってます。 あと、こんな感じで、せっかくe バイクもあるので、サイクリングツアーと合わせて、丹後の魅力を満喫してもらいつつ、海ゴミの問題も知ってもらって、で、あと一緒に、海岸清掃もやって、で、最後はまた工房に帰って、プレシャスプラスチックを体験してもらったり、しています。で、プレシャスプラスチックと e バイクを学ぶ、環境ツアーみたいなことをやってはいるんですけども、今日僕が環境問題を解決していくために本当に言いたかったっていうことが、ここからになります。それは、子供たちに思い出を作ってあげてほしいということです。自分の子供とか、街にいる子供とか、自然に関わる思い出を作ることがめっちゃ大事だと思ってるんですよ。自然を楽しむこと、そしていろんな経験をすること、で、挑戦すること、そして大事な自然を守っていくこと、たくさん喋ること、思いを伝えていくこと、子供たちに小さい頃から、自然でいっぱい遊んだなとか、楽しかったなとか、で、守っていくことを大人から教わったなとか、そんな思い出を作ることが僕は、環境問題を解決していくためには、必要だと思いました。だから、僕が次にやるべきことは、拠点づくりです。自然を楽しんだり守ったり、学ぶ。そして自分で問題とか課題を感じたときに解決するための行動やものづくりができる。で、したい、やりたいが叶う場所を、そんな場所を外じゃなくて、この自宅で、まずは自分から自分で作っていこうっていうふうに、考えました。倉庫ではさっきみたいにプレシャスプラスチックのマシンや工具が揃っていて、ものづくりができます。で、これ自宅なんですけども、はい。で、広場では、遊んだり、本を読んだりすることができて、で、大人は子連れでも会議や打ち合わせがすることができます。そして、大事なことは、子供たちと一緒に何でもやる。で、自然で遊ぶっていうこと。またぜひ、丹後に来られた際には、この工房に見に来てください。最後に僕からメッセージ。環境問題ってめちゃくちゃ大きな問題ではあるんですけども、自分ができることからはやればいいんですよ。どんな小さいことでもいいし、失敗なんて全然 OK だと思います。とにかく勇気を持ってやってみましょう。で、これで僕の発表を終わります。画面共有を停止。はい。こんな感じになります。はい。それでは、ちょっと短い時間だったんですけども、またぜひ丹後に皆さん遊びに来てください。ありがとうございます。さよなら。
Thank you so much, Mr. Yasumi, for that amazing presentation. ありがとうございました。
Thank you. ありがとうございます。
Now, in the interest of time, we will swiftly move on to the next country, which is Vietnam. We will be hearing from Mr. Isao Nakagawa from Kanso Technos Corporation, who will talk about his environmental conservation project in Cat Ba Island of Vietnam. Special thank you to Ms. Keiko Noboru.
中川さん。
はい。
はい。
はい。Hello, I'm Isao Nakagawa of Kanso Technos. Today, I'd like to introduce a water environment conservation project done at the Cat Ba Island in Vietnam. I will share my document. Just wait a minute. Yes. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. First, I'd like to introduce a little about Kanso Technos. Kanso Technos is a construction consulting company that is wholly owned subsidiary of Kansai Electric Power Company, the second largest electric power company in Japan. Next, I will introduce the Katwa project. Katwa Island is located in Haiphong City and is neighboring Halong Bay a World Natural Heritage Site. This is the picture of scenery around Katob Island. It is similar to scenery of Halong Bay. Yes. This shows the current situation of water pollution in Katob Island. The main area of Katob Island is listed in this illustration. Around this area, there are many floating houses and fish are farmed under those houses. The wastewater and trash from floating houses and fish food are the sources of pollution. This area is the center of Katob Island, where there are many hotels and restaurants, and they produce a very large amount of wastewater. And this area, trash dumped by local people and tourists is piled up. Also, untreated wastewater is discharged directly. This is a picture of floating house. This is the center part of Katob Island, where there are streets with many hotels and restaurants. This is the bay where many plastic garbage is floating. Now, I will explain the Katoba project. The Katoba project is tackled jointly by Shiga Prefecture government and companies as a grassroots technical cooperation project of JICA. Shiga Prefecture is the site with Lake Biwa, the largest lake in Japan. From 1970s to 1980s, the pollution of Lake Biwa became a huge problem. As seen in this picture, local people, government, companies, and research institutes work together to improve water quality. As a result, we are able to develop the economy and improve the water quality at the same time. Shiga Prefecture government named this skill obtained from this experience as Lake Biwa model. The Katoba project will apply the Lake Biwa model to Katob Island. Now, we'll go into details of the Katoba project. For 2 years from 2015, phase 1 of the project was done. During these 2 years, the know-how and experience from the Lake Biwa model were passed down to the local government and companies and local residents of Katoba. Also, since working together is an important factor of Lake Biwa model, a working group consisting of the local government and companies and local people were created. The goal here is noticing. Next, we will talk about the specific efforts of each entity. There are efforts of local governments. The goal is for the government to notice the state of wastewater control and to think about by themselves. The sewage path and the pollution load were first identified. And then the pollution load was compared with the amount treated by the existing wastewater treatment facilities. This is what the activity of the local government looks like. These are activities done by companies. Water quality measurements are conducted so that companies will be able to notice how dirty the water around Katba Island is. And the enlightening pamphlet was created as well. These are the activities done by the local people. As a representative of the local people, an environmental education for elementary students was done. To ensure that environmental education continues even after the project ends, know-how of the education was taught to the teachers of elementary school. These are the activities done by the local, these are the activities done by the working group consisting of the local government, companies, and local people. The meaning to create a working group was first explained before the group was created. The name of the group, Green Katoba, was chosen by the members of the working group. The water environment conservation activities was thought out and was held by the group. This is a picture of garbage cleaning activities done by the members of Green Katoba. This is a picture of environmental forum held by Green Katoba to present what the elementary students learned from the environmental education. Now we will move over to phase 2. When phase 1 ended, there were huge changes in the environment of Katoba Island, and new problems have become apparent. First of all, Sun Group, a leading developer in Vietnam, is reconstructing Katoba Island into a huge resort area. This would mean more tourists and thus more pollution. Second, Katoba Archipelago and Halong Bay has been applied for World Natural Heritage as a single entity. This means not only the water around Katoba Island, but also the water in Halong Bay would also have to be conserved as well. Third, even though activities for water environmental conservation are still being done by Green Katoba, it is not as active anymore. To solve these problems, we decided to start phase 2 of the project. In addition, the lack of funds, which was a continuous problem during phase 1, must also be solved as well. The start of the project was scheduled to be in March 2020, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has not started yet. This is a picture of change that is occurring around Katoba Island. The floating houses are being removed. The Haihong government, local government, is stating that this is being done based on the Lake Biwa model. This may be welcome from the viewpoint of water environment conservation. But I wonder if enough countermeasures are taken to protect the economically weak. Here, we will list the goals and activities regarding phase 2. The object objective of phase 1 was noticing. And the objective of phase 2 is acting. We are thinking to create a Katoa model based on Lake Biwa model. As the Katoa Archipelago and Halong Bay has been applied for World Natural Heritage as a whole, we are planning to work together with Quang Ninh Province, which oversees Halong Bay. To solve the financial difficulties, we are thinking of a plan for fundraising. We would like to work with local people to come up with possible ideas such as island entry tax or the introduction of ecotourism, which is the theme of today's meeting. This concludes my presentation for the Katoa project. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for your presentation. So that concludes our presentation from the three speakers. And now we wanted to take questions from the participants. Dr. Taku, do we have time for Q&A?
Sorry, I think there's one more speaker.
Oh,
from Vietnam.
sorry. Oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry. Thank you again, Mr. Nakagawa. Next, we have the second talk from Vietnam by Ms. Trang Nguyen, a PhD scholar of AIT, who will be presenting her research findings from Phu Quoc Island. Ms. Trang Nguyen, please take it away.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Good morning, everyone, and I'm so glad to be here to present my research about the marine plastic litter in a Phu Quoc Marine Protected Area in Kiên Giang, Vietnam. This year funded by Arsenal, a small grant for my research, and it includes introduction, study area, case finding, and some recommendation from my side. Yeah, you know that Phu Quoc is a beautiful island and a tourist destination with a natural area of more than 500 kilometers square. It includes one big island and more than 35 small islands and 3 reefs. Every year, Phu Quoc attracting more than 1.4 million of visitors. But due to COVID situation, now the tourists come to Phu Quoc decrease significantly. And in Phu Quoc, we have more than 700 establishment of tourist accommodation, and it also contribute a big amount of the tourist generation in the Phu Quoc Islands. In Phu Quoc, we have two sites for in the marine protected area. It's the seagrass and coral reef area. And the plastic waste pollution in Phu Quoc Islands now is become a huge problem for the local government because it affects the ecosystem in Phu Quoc. And in my study, I want to investigate the source and status of marine plastic litter, focus on the marine protected area in the seagrass ecosystem. The next one, I would like to determine the cost and the cost of marine plastic litter, following by the comment some practical measures to mitigate marine plastic and sustainable management of marine ecosystem. This is my study area. I focus, I select 7 locations to conduct the marine plastic litter sampling in the seagrass recover road, and most of them are the village and natural park. Some is in the remote area where we don't have any waste collection service. And after conduct the marine plastic sample, I identify some source of marine litter in Phu Quoc. The first one is from land. It means it's from the canal and stream discharge directly to the environment, into the sea. Here is because sometimes the local residents, they tend to put their waste directly to the canal and the river nearby their house. So it's go directly to the sea. The next one is from tourist sector, like the accommodation or the tourist activity, like they go to beach, they have some picnic activity, and then they did not collect their waste again. And also some resort or some restaurant is nearby the sea. They also tend to dump their waste correctly to the sea. And another one is from the agriculture activity, like the fishing gear or nets from the fishing activity from the local government. And it's mentioned by the local residents is that one other sort of marine plastic litter in Phu Quoc is from inland. It means it's what our store. The waste will come from the sea and be in the Phu Quoc beach also. And during my research study, I found that the most of item is a single-use plastic bag or plastic straw, which account more than 200 in total here. And next one is some plastic fragment or styrofoam or single-use plastic cup, nets, and as a fishery is around 20 more than 20 items. And we can also see some other right, like the plastic sandal or plastic bottle or something like that. It also comes from food packaging also, like the take away food packaging is something. And most of them is from tourist sector, from territorial origin, and some also from the sea, from fishery activity. About the material types, so now you can see from my summary tables, most of them are in the ADPE with more than 34%, followed by the PET, PE, more than 27%, and next one is a PP, is about 23%. There are no marine plastic found in the PVC, and the lowest one is the LDPE with around 3%. Yes, and this is a size concentration of marine plastic litter in the my study area. We can see here is in the Mũi Đá Bạc is has the highest concentration of marine plastic. Is around 2.5 item per square meter, and the lowest one is Mũi Cây Sao and Bãi Trơm, because this one is mostly in the rural area. So and also maybe because of geographic characteristics, so the concentration of marine plastic litter is only around 0.4 item per square meter. About the quantity of microplastic, because I also do the weighting marine plastic exercise, and in the bottom even they have the less item of marine plastic per square meter, but they have the highest waste per square meter, because most of them here is a plastic bag. They have the less item, but they have the higher waste. So it's about 0.2 gram per square meter. And the lowest one still in Mũi Cây Sao is have only 0.034. And see here, I summarize the total microplastic item. In total, we have the highest in the Mũi Đá Bạc. We have the 190 item, and around 50 item is large microplastic. The last one is have the size is more than 30 centimeters, and another one is called macroplastic item. And the size distribution you can see here. For the large item is the biggest one is in Hàm Ninh, and but for the macro item is the biggest one is in Mũi Đá Chồng. And here is some photo of my macroplastic sampling. You can see here is the food packaging. This here is a plastic bag. This is also for soft drink or you can see here is a plastic bag. They have a lot in Phú Quốc. And here is some single-use plastic like cup. Styrofoam is from fruit cover. And this is some plastic fragment. Or this is a sample packaging. And now I will go deeply to the cost of marine plastic litter in Phú Quốc Islands. According to Phú Quốc City People Committee, now the waste generation is more than 190 tons per day, and in urban area is around 106 tons, and in rural is 84 tons. However, waste is collected only 90%, so it means still has 10% of waste is leaked into the environment here. And you can see that around 20% of waste generation is plastic waste. It's about 30 tons per day, but only 1.3 of plastic waste, 2.3 of plastic waste is collected. It means 1.3 of plastic waste is uncollected. And this is a potential source for the marine plastic litter in Phú Quốc also. After collected waste is sent to the 3 landfill and waste treatment facility. But however, currently this 3 landfill and facility is over capacity, and local government had to face a serious problem on this waste treatment here. And city raised a big concern for the local government and also for the Kiên province. And another one here is even in Phú Quốc, they have the decision for separate waste as source. However, now the local residents still have the no waste separation as source culture. They still dump waste directly to the bin, and they don't care about what can be after the Phú Quốc come. Another one is that the Phú Quốc they have don't have the waste service in the rural area, so still cannot cover waste to the landfill for the properly treatment. And also the culture of the local residents that they tend to pour waste to the canal and river nearby. So it's one of the major costs for the waste. Now the local government also has some solution to the marine plastic waste pollution. In 2019, the Phú Quốc District Pupil Committee already issued the action plan No. 545 on the marine plastic waste management in Phú Quốc in 2025. And the major focus of the local government now is focused on social behavior change and raising awareness of the citizen. For example, for the local government, now they have the anti-plastic waste campaign. So now 100% of local government agencies do not use their plastic bottle or straw in the meeting. On the staff reduce the use of plastic product and reduce the disposal of plastic waste. In the local community, WWF Vietnam has developed a pilot model and community-based recollection and classification in Bãi Bùn and Đá Trồng village. In Bãi Thơm, WWF also work with the Human Union to pilot the model of exchange plastic waste to other products. In here, the women can keep their plastic waste and send to the Women Union in their commune to change to other product like the kitchen product or food product something. In the whole island, the social networking like Zalo, Facebook, radio station, mobile car or portal speaker as in commune and in the town. For the physical activity, they have the video on ship, ferries, railway station, prior airport, and own electronic board in the city. For the route and student, they have the environmental protection and anti-plastic waste in the form of painting on the wall in the Dương Đông, one secondary school. For the business sector, you know that Phú Quốc is a tourist destination, so there are big contribution of business sector here. So according to the action plan in 2025, the Phú Quốc will encourage the business sector to commit on reducing the use of plastic product, reduce the use of single plastic as resource hotel near the sea, small business in the fresh market, and they should also have the regular clean the beach and surrounding environment. By 2025, they will ban the use of single-use plastic in resort and hotel nearby, small business at night market, and ban the import of single-use plastic bag in Phú Quốc also. They also develop and implement some pilot mechanism for supplier of environmental friendly alternative, and also develop and implement the pilot model for circular economy at the area near the Phú Quốc marine protected area. Here is some activity from the resort that they change the to the eco product, and also they tend to have the residual waste. And here is now the plastic straw is removed by the grass straw or the bamboo straw. You can see from some initiative here. And beyond my research and case finding and some gap from the document review, I also have some recommendation for the Phú Quốc. Like now they have the very willingness to pay for the waste to energy technology. So I think the investor can work with the local government to research about the waste to energy technology to waste to treat the waste in Phú Quốc, and maybe some investor in Japan or in the Europe country can think about this opportunity and connect with the local government. And the next one is a collaboration with the informal waste sector. You know that informal waste sector play a key role in the waste recycling because they separate the recyclable material. So local government can pay more attention on informal waste collector by support their work in collecting, separating, and recycling of waste. The next one is in Phuket, they have the high density of the river and canal system. So local government should think about the waste collection system on the surface, like the they can so that they can collect the plastic waste before it enter to the ocean. And the next one, like because like the waste collection service is cannot access at the rural area or in the small village. So local government can think about the establishment of drop-off point for the plastic waste product. So the resident and tourist accommodation can contribute to the activity by separating the waste and drop to the station. The station can be designed near the main roads and easy access with the frequency to collect from the staff to ensure available space and also the environment protection for the surrounding area. And thank you so much for the attention. It is some key finding and recommendation from my side for the marine plastic litter in the Phuket. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation. We were meant to take questions from the participants, but we will be answering them in the chat box. So Dr. Yoshikawa, you will be sending the answer to the one question that we received from Vietnam, Nguyen Thi Minh Yen. 書いて送っていただくという形で大丈夫ですか? Okay, so she will be sending the answer to the question we received in the chat box. And in the interest of time, we will move on to the next session. So Hasumi, could you please introduce the next session?
Yes, of course. Now I'll just share my screen onto the Miro board. So before I get into the group work session, how many of you are on the Miro board? I know that we've got about 50 participants and only 14 of you are on the Miro board. So if you are on your laptop, I would suggest everyone to get onto the Miro board right now. This is where we will be conducting the second half of this workshop. Is everyone all right? I can see the numbers going up slowly. So I'll just continue with the presentation as people slowly enter the Miro board. Okay, so now we will be heading into the group work session, and as we can see, the groups are outlined here. If you move out of the Miro board, you will see a quick introduction of who the participants are. If you've logged on to this Miro board, please change your color. For example, my name Hasumi, I've changed it to yellow. So if you're on the Miro board, please change your color. It's as simple as clicking on the post-it and changing the color right here. So once you've done that, we would know who's in, who's not. Next, I'll quickly give you a debriefing of how the workshop is going to go. So if you zoom out, you've got this space out here that says workshop. Here you'll find your name on the teams. So for example, team A has Takayoshi Machida, Taka, Karen, Tanasak, and Rowan, etc. And so here you please find your team. If you want, please put your photo instead of just your name so that the people in your team can get to know you a little better. So the format of our ideation or our workshop today is going to be as follows. Can everyone see the double diamond framework out here? So generally, when we are going through ideation or design thinking, there's always a process of discovering, finding the problem, defining or understanding the problem through research, and then slowly honing in on the problem as to what you're going to solve, and then find ideas to try to solve them. And then once you find many ideas, you kind of narrow down into the solution. So you start off with the problem and understand the problem and then come up with the solution. But because today we're in like a very jam-packed, only 2-hour session, 2.5-hour session, I think, we will be doing this at a very rapid pace. So this is the format that we have come to work with. Number one is that once you break out into your teams, I would like you to have like a 5-minute introduction, maybe 1-sentence introduction of the team, and jump right into the 5W1H. And the question that you will be dealing with is regarding ocean commons and ecotourism in Asia. So within your team, if there's any particular issue or problem that you're interested in, I would implore you to brainstorm that as a team and try to frame it under the 5W1H. That would take 40 minutes. So including the team introduction and the 5W1H exercise, we'll have 40 minutes. Then once that's done, you'll go into the research phase where you research a little more about the problem and what are the different issues that are in the problem. And so you have 40 minutes to do that. And the last phase, which is the ideation phase, is where you try to, once you understand the problem, try to find ways in order you get to challenge the problem and see if there are any realistic solutions to that. And by realistic, it can be anything from like, it can be as crazy as, oh, let's create like a magnet that could, you know, attract all the plastic. It can be anything, but just try to kind of come up with an idea just to exercise that idea muscle a little bit and to see what ideas come up for the solution. And once you find like one solution that you would like to share with everyone, I would like you to then share it with the group after 40 minutes. So we will be having session 1, 2, 3 in 40-minute clips. So is everyone clear on that? Do we have any questions regarding that? If so, please feel free to like message on the chat box. So that is what the workshop is going to look like. So the next is the mentors. So we have 6 mentors as part of this program. And the role of the mentors is for us to hop into different breakout rooms just to give you support and ideas. So you can see the mentors here. We've got Komaki-san and myself, as well as Manju, Miss Asai, Christopher, and Pat. So we will be here to support anything and everything that you need in terms of question and how to get a solution. Okay, so on that note, I would like to jump into the first breakout session. But do we have any questions at this point as to what you need to do? Once we get into the breakout sessions, it'll be difficult to kind of answer them. Everyone all right? Okay, no questions? Great.
You can always call for help if you need assistance in the breakout rooms, and we'll be there for you.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, then on to the workshop then. So wait, let me stop sharing first. Now will we be able to break out?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you so much, everyone. I think most of the participants are back, if not everyone. Is everyone back?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
great. Great. So Hasumi, would you like to explain the next session?
Yes. So I think by now a lot of the teams have kind of identified what problem they want to solve, but they don't have enough information to even finish filling in this 5W1H. So the next session is going to be a dedicated research session to try to learn as much as you can from about the topic that you have decided. Now, a little bit of how you can do it, and I think that what do you call it? I think there are two ways of going about it. One is actually researching a little more and try to add a lot of the information onto your 5W1H. But there's also a section here, research of the problem, where you can actually copy and paste any information that you have found that's interesting regarding the topic of your choice. Just another interesting fact. Let me give you an example. If you, one second, for example, you can just paste a link here. When you copy paste, it'll show up like this. So you can quickly kind of paste links directly onto the Miro board to see what exactly you're talking about as well. You can also use icons here to just indicate, for example, tools to kind of show what you want to, just to organize a lot of your information so that the team can easily kind of access it. So yeah, so now it's your deep dive. So just to like reinstate where we are in the double diamond, we are at the research phase, trying to expand our question. Everything all right? Do we have any questions at this point? If not, we don't have enough time, so I would like to send you back right into your breakout rooms. Okay, are you ready to go into your deep dive research?
So
Great.
how long is this session going to last?
This session is going to be 40 minutes, the same as the previous session.
Okay, so we'll be coming back at, well, Japan time 1:15. I don't know what time that would be in Thailand, Vietnam, etc. Maybe like 11 to 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
We'll see you in another 40 minutes.
Bye, everyone. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I hope that everyone is back from the breakout rooms into the main session and you had a very fruitful time researching and deepening the topics of your interest. So next we are going to move on to the presentation, preparation for the presentation. And please be sure to take notes of the following. Each of the teams will be preparing a presentation of your solution to the problem. This will be maximum 3 slides. So you can use up to 3 slides, but there is no minimum number. You can just use 1 slide if you prefer. Clarify why your idea is innovative. What is new about your idea? Then it is up to each team Okay, great. Thank you. It is up to each team who will be speaking or whether they take turns during the presentation session. And each team will be given 3 minutes for speaking. I will be taking the time, so please be sure to be punctual. The presentation will be evaluated on the following criteria. So it's these 4 boxes. This is all in the Miro board. It's sustainability, 20%, impacts on society, 30%, ease of implementation, 30%, and presentation quality, 20%. Although the presentations will be evaluated, there will be no winner or loser, but we are definitely looking for innovative solutions to the problems that you will be presenting to us. Next, you will be put into your breakout rooms again until 2 o'clock. So that would be, I think, 12 o'clock for many of you in Southeast Asia. Please be sure to present your presentation, and we will go back to the breakout rooms again. Good luck. Okay, wonderful. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a great time preparing for your presentation next. So I would like to repeat that each presentation should last no longer than 3 minutes, and each team is able to share up to 3 slides, no more than 3 minutes and no more than 3 slides. The judges will ask a maximum of 2 questions for each team. So each team will be giving a chance to answer 2 questions. Okay, so the judges, please be sure to prepare at least 2 questions per team. And I would like to introduce to you the 5 judges. So we have Professor Chaipat from Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. We have Mr. Pete from Asian Institute of Technology in Thailand. Ms. Trang, also from Asian Institute of Technology in Vietnam. Then we have Dr. Tien from Tiên Giang University in Vietnam. Then we have Mr. Hizuki Isogai from Hiroshima Business and Management School in Japan. Judges, please be sure to mark every team while listening to their presentations. And you can use the online spreadsheet to enter your mark. This should have been shared with you. So yes, we have those 5 judges. Next, we will hear from the first team. We will go in alphabetical order. So team A, please start presenting and I will start the timer. You may share your screen.
Can you see my slide now?
Yes.
Okay. We start our presentation.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm ready. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We are Trash to Treasure. And first of all, I like to explain about the background of the existing problem. Since 1980, we consume the 6.3 billion tons of plastic daily use, and but only 9% have been recycled. But where the remaining plastic, it means 91% products gone. This is a big problem. In my personal, for me, I have never considered about these problems. And apart from that, in Asia, Mekong River penetrates the Asia from Himalaya to ocean, Gulf of Thailand and the Gulf of India, which takes people and products all over the world. It is a good logistic for the trading and business. But how about for plastics? Yes. Next. Okay. I'm continuing. And then plastic is a problem in our society, and it make worse our climate issues and any problems. But there is some solution to mitigate the plastic things. Government and the private company will organize and support a group in the community. And please look at the picture, the skateboard. It made by the wasted plastic things. And it means people can play with garbage, like these skateboards and these blocks and something. And it could be make a profit for the local people and the company. And last page. And this time I like to mention about the urgent things. This is a COVID situation. I think all of us use masks every day, and some people use alcohol sanitizer, and it is using some plastic things. It means that we spend all plastic things all days. And yes, okay, chat. Okay.
Discussing about this, our main objective, I hope the screen is visible. So according to our objective, the main goal is to convert trash into treasure. So this is a park created by waste. So these are the tires, and these are some of the paint buckets which has been converted into a park. Plastic bottles have been recycled into hanging flower plants, and these have been decorated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Team A. Next, we will move on to the question and answer section. So judges, we have 4 minutes for this section for you to ask up to 2 questions, and the 4 minutes will be used in total with the answer section as well.
Okay, so I will go first then. Thank you very much for your presentation. I really like the idea of transforming your trash to treasure. But so do you have any idea what kind of treasure that you are talking about? What kind of products you think that it would be, well, sellable to general population? All right, thank you.
Yes. It is relating to the character of the plastic, because we can change the shape of the plastics with some laboratory or plant. I mean, we can make everything, almost everything from the plastic things, and it means it is looks like reusable things for the ordinary people. This is a so good character of the plastic, but I like to insist to the problem the plastic. We have to reduce the original plastic products. Yeah, this is my answer for you. Thanks, Professor Pat.
I'd like to add a few things. So it's basically about converting all these plastic waste. They would usually end up in the ocean or in the landfills, which would pollute the environment and cause a significant impact to aquatic life and the environment. So by utilizing these waste, it is actually being used for a good purpose. So since it's been converted into a park, it can be a motivation to other people as well to conserve and preserve, or recycle these waste and practice sustainable ways to recycle waste materials. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for one more quick question. If any of the judges have questions, please speak up.
Hello. Thank you so much for the presentation. And regarding to the presentation, I have some question. Just one major big question. The first thing is when you plan to develop this model, so who will help you to collect the material? And so how should you convert the plastic to this usable product like you mentioned? And how about the market for this one? How you will sell, and how about the willingness to use of the community to the product? Yes, thank you.
I think one innovative idea would be the use of tires, like I showcased in the video. So the waste tires can be converted into seatings. So I think we can collaborate with some business sectors and sell it. We can also provide some job opportunities to people, marginalized people. Is there anything my group mates would like to add?
Yes, I want you to make clear how to collect and how to sell the product. The way you produce the product, I'm clear, but how that you collect and you sell the product to the market. Something donates or just something sell on the market of this recycling product.
Yes. In my country, some supermarket shops pay 1 cent or 1 Thai baht for collecting the PET bottle and the plastic bags. And recently, 7-Eleven charged the plastic bags for 2 bahts or 3 bahts. I think these steps mitigate plastic use, and it promotes the plastic reuse.
Yeah, we can collaborate with these kind of waste collectors and then be like a chain, like a bridge, collect these waste from the community, from these waste collectors, and then we sell it to the other consumers.
Okay, so in the interest of time, we are going to cut this Q&A session to here. Thank you very much, Group A, for your excellent presentation. Next, we are going to hear from Group B. Please be sure to share your screen, and as soon as you start presenting, I will start the timer to 3 minutes.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so our project is named Fueled by Stories, and it's solving the plastic waste problem in Koh Lan. So in Koh Lan, it's a small island off Pattaya, and so it has the problem that there is a lot of waste there, but there are not enough ways to deal with it. So basically what happens now is either they just dump it all in the center of the island, or they cart it off to landfills on the mainland. But then, of course, like these solutions are just treating the waste as waste, right? So as the previous group said, these things can have values, but also treating them as waste and leaving them in landfills also have, you know, like some type of negative things, such as, you know, they leak into the water. It's a small island, it goes into the ocean. And even like recently there were news that like some whale, big whale died because of all the plastic it ate around this island. And so one other problem here is also that like what they're doing now is short-term solution and unsustainable, where like these the government, the local government there, they always talk a lot about what they're gonna do, but they're not really doing anything. Or maybe, you know, they'll come out, they'll do some small things, but then, you know, attention goes away and then nothing happens. So what we want to do is do a social media campaign with like maybe some local residents, with some local interest groups, maybe partnering with some NGOs as well as interested influencers to kind of bring light to all these matters. So this can be in terms of like we said, fueled by stories, right? So maybe we'll make some short videos like NAS daily formats where we go through these local life stories of how, you know, before the tourism brought all this trash here and everything, how were they affected by the problem, and also like maybe provide some updates on the different promises that the local government has said they would do. So of course, you know, this is nothing that's totally new, but then like discussing the problem and bringing attention to it is very important, and it's what we're doing today in this session, right? Because we're all meeting to discuss plastics in the ocean, but if we don't know about the problem, or if we don't know enough about it, then what can we talk about it or discuss about it? So that's what we're suggesting here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Next, we will move on to the Q&A session. So judges, please take it away.
Okay, so thank you for your presentation. I just want to have a quick question of confirmation whether I understand your presentation correctly. So what you are trying to say is that you are trying to change the behavior of the tourists who come to Koh Lan? Am I correct?
Not only tourists, but also the local government who aren't doing much to help with the problem at all. They only talk, and then the media goes, they talk, but then nothing happens. For example, 4 years ago, they said that they were gonna do some like build more barges or build a factory there to process the trash. But even up until today, it seems like nothing is happening, or it's happening very, very slowly.
But can you elaborate on how would social media campaign would help doing all of that? Without, and please be minded that without breaching all of this, the data privacy or the privacy of the like your tourist, I don't think that it would be possible that you just like take a photo of this this person and then put it on social media and condemn them that well they trash all over places. So how can you more elaborate on that? Thank you.
Well, when we were talking, we focused more in terms of government scrutiny. So for example, in cases such as where like the government said they got the money and then they're gonna do this, right? So we can actually go and look at and then make some type of maybe videos, stories to show that, okay, what is actually happening. Or also, as we said earlier, we're focusing more on the local life stories. So we want to hear from the locals because they actually say they don't want what the government is doing, that they don't want the government to just take the trash away and dump it, but they want these, factories to help process or sort the waste. However, the government isn't really responding to these interests.
All right, thank you.
Add to what Bank was saying. So actually, sir, what we are advocating for is to have a grassroots movement in order to increase government accountability for the solutions. We're not trying to provide solutions, but trying to make certain people accountable for solving the problem. So we will do it by featuring stories of people, not random tourists who go there to throw stuff, but we want to show how the island has changed from being a pristine area to a place where there's a lot of waste problems. So it will be kind of like an intergenerational storytelling, giving agency and voice to the people who actually live in the area. So we want to use social media as a platform for maybe smacking some people, or maybe showing the stories of people so that the problem can be addressed directly by those who are responsible.
Thank you very much. In the interest of time, we will be moving on to the next group. Judges, please be sure to prepare your questions as you listen to the presentations. So Group C, please go ahead and I will start the timer.
Maybe Jaburi-san, can you go?
Okay, thank you everyone. So for our project, so we are aiming to reduce the household plastic waste in Miyajima Island in Japan. So actually we find that 50% of the marine waste in Miyajima are household waste, 25% are PET bottles. And we focus on this. 99% of the bottles are being recycled, but only 1% is not. And that represents a huge amount of plastic, and it's a major problem. So since the people living in islands, they are more aware of the waste, the marine plastic waste, because they are receiving from other countries. So they don't want to provide them waste, spread them waste to other countries. So our idea is so simple. We are not looking for high technology. So we want to disseminate the use of vending machine in Japan, which is not the case. So the technology exists, cheap technology using reverse osmosis filtering machine. So our idea is just to add another machine just by the side, and instead of using money to receive your water, and it will cost you cheaper because first, less container, you will reuse your own household container. But moreover, when you use other beverage like cola, soda, whatever, if you use it in that machine, it will provide you free water. With this, so we are solving many things. First, change the behavior of people for using their own container. Second, like provide them incentive, direct incentive when they reuse them plastic bottle, they will gain reward. When they recycle them plastic bottle, they also will get reward. And most important is that it's easy to be implemented. The technology exists, it's cheap, so we could disseminate it so easily. And also most important is easy to assess, because those vending machines, they have like a water counter, so we could know exactly how much water is being used. Also, like we could add like small screen when you use it, so the machine will tell you, oh, thank you, you already saved that like 2 or 3 plastic bottle. So also like the number of PET bottle recycled, so it could be assessed, and we reduce directly, we change the behavior, we use a technology that already exists and proven in Thailand just to disseminate it in another country like Japan, even with the advancement, but they don't use it because of the convenience. It's more easy to take a bottle of water. Yeah, that is our solution. See, easy, not complicated, and ready to use. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have until 12:21 for questions. Judges, please take it away. If we could hear from a different judge this time, that would be great.
Can
Hello. Sorry.
Yes, can I ask one question, please?
Sure.
Yeah, for this model, how long you want to run this pilot model? Or yes, do you have any idea for the time for run this pilot model?
Sorry, Professor, I don't get your question. Could you please?
So it means you want to introduce this machine to the island, right? For the local resident and tourists to deposit the plastic bottle to get water, right?
Yes.
So now it's already implemented in the islands, or that's the solution?
No, it's not implemented yet. So this is our idea. Actually, these vending machines exist in Thailand and they are well disseminated. You could find it in any condo, you could find it in any corner. You put some coins and you bring your own container and you get a clean, fresh water using a tap water. So it's very convenient. But in Japan, it don't exist at all. So we want to introduce that. It's proven in Thailand, but not used in Japan. And we want to add it something. Instead of using coin, instead of using money, you could put like old plastic bottles and it will provide you free water. So we encourage 2 things. First, use your own house container. Second, provide some incentive to recycle others' beverage plastics.
Yes, I got the point, but I mean that you will bring that model from Japan to the Thailand, right?
I think so.
No,
Yes,
from
but
Thailand
when
to
you-
Japan.
And you need, okay, from Thailand to Japan, but you need to have a pilot duration to get the pupil participate in the model. So I want to know how long you want to test for this model to know that the model is sustainable or not. Do you get my point?
I get your point, but honestly, I don't have an answer for that because I don't know. Like, it's proven here in Thailand, we come out with this idea, but to assess it, so we could implement it in like small community and try it. And then we could get results and decide if we are going to escalate the project or not. So if this answers your question, maybe I don't get it, sorry.
Yes, because I think about
I'm very sorry, but we need to move on to the next group in the interest of time. I apologize. So thank you very much. We'll move on to group D, I think. So group D, please go ahead and I will start the timer.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so today we would like to bring our presentation to focusing on plastic waste in Bangkok, Thailand. So wait a moment. Yeah. So the background is that the Bangkok coast is one of the most important coasts as it helps to protect Bangkok from rising sea levels, a problem that can easily cause massive flooding in the city. But the area is a lot of waste, specifically plastic waste in that area because there are so many visitors there. And then the volume is around 143 tons per day, and the kind of the plastic is like a single-use grocery bags, water bottles, and etc. So there is a regulation regarding the sanitation and safety, but not well implemented since we can see until right now there are so many other plastic waste. And about the idea that we are going to propose, please, Saya.
Okay, so our idea is to create a mechanical machine that uses sensors to swim at the bottom of the river to eat trash. So basically we did a research on the case from a researcher who were using plastic bags to carry caterpillars, which have discovered that one species can digest polyethylene, a ubiquitous plastic that is one of the toughest to break down. So of course, plastivores. These creatures will eat some of the most common plastics. So far, researchers have discovered over 50 species of microorganisms that mostly bacteria and fungi that can turn plastic into energy. So our invention is that we're going to mimic the bacteria in the worms inside the machine as like a stomach. So we mimic its nature and eliminate the waste products in the river. So in terms of budgeting, we'll charge from big companies on all plastic items sold by weight in Thailand to fund our project. And we also would like to ask for sponsors and collaborations from Chulalongkorn University, AIT, and startup companies, obviously, or biotech. Say, for example, Rice Company, which have been working on innovations that can help us develop on a higher scale. And with this, we believe that our idea may be some form of innovation that will definitely help contribute in some ways that will help solve the waste management problem in Bangkok. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll move on to the questions. There's 3 minutes for questions. Judges, please obey the time that's allocated. Thank you.
Hello, I have one question. Could you please elaborate more on like how to get cooperation from the producer to fund this kind of technology to reduce the plastic waste?
Okay, so
Yes.
this idea is not so easy to implement, but it's very much with high potential that it could be possible with the research and everything as an evidence. But in terms of sponsors, we would like to reach out to collaborations, as I've mentioned earlier, to discuss about the detailed logic behind this project. And we would like them to help us develop along the way. So whether there are big companies that are on plastic items or the collaborations from Chulalongkorn University or AIT, or other like startup companies who are very much known for these kind of areas.
Okay. As I'm non-scientific background, I understand that inside this machine into the river, you will include bacteria into the machine to be put into the river, right?
Right. So
I have a simple question that did you take into consideration that by doing that, you will mistakenly and unwillingly to contaminate the river itself?
right.
Right,
So
yes. So,
Since
yeah.
this is our just like ideating the idea process, if the sensors or the machine with sensors that we're talking about may harm the natural resources, we can start from the smaller steps. Say, for example, dropping all the worms, which are organisms that are not, how would I say it? That would not like really harm the natural resources of the recreation center. We can start from there. Because the idea behind it is just very similar.
The digestive tract as well is self-enclosed, so it wouldn't release anything back into the environment.
Okay.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you very
We
much.
will be moving on to Group E. Group D, thank you so much for your presentation. Group E, the floor is yours. I will start the timer.
Like Group E, right?
Yes, please begin.
Okay. E, and then we're having our presentation on the name of the program is Protect Nemo. So basically, our program is in order to make tourism more sustainable, and it is more of an awareness program. So so these are basically the background study of like where, when, who, and how, like the 511H. So our main program is to start a cartoon series program, in which we show program about like kids and like how we can make tourism sustainable, and like what are the effects of irresponsible tourism, and what are the measures in order to achieve sustainable tourism. And yeah, can you go to the next one? So in terms of economic sustainability, we are aiming to gain our income through social media channels. Like we're going to be we're going to be airing our program on Netflix, YouTube, and even other TV channels. So we're going to be generating our income through that. For the impact on the society, our main aim of this program is to create responsible citizens of tomorrow. So as we are targeting this program towards the children, so we are aiming to make them more aware so that they can become more responsible citizens of tomorrow. And this program also creates a lot of job opportunities. And in terms of implementation, we're going to start off this program with $3,500, from which 50% of the income will be from our personal savings, the owner's personal savings, and 50% is going to be through bank loans. And we're gonna start it off with very limited employees, like 2 animators, 1 social media expert, 1 finance officer, and then 1 marketing officer. And this program is going to be aired in 4 different languages, which is English, Japanese, Vietnamese, and Thai. So by doing this, we aim to, this is a mass marketing program. So we aim to change the society as a whole, but then it is just a small initiative in order to do so. Can you go to the previous slide, please? Can you go to the previous slide, please? Yeah. So basically, we got this idea from a CBS cartoon program. And the example is shown in slide number 2. And yeah, that is how we aim to do it. And yeah, so Nina, would you like to explain the what, where, when, how?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to answer the 5 questions, the 5W1H question
Time is up.
Okay.
So we will hear questions from the judges. Judges?
Okay, thank you for the presentation. I have one quick question. How would you gonna compete with the existing programs like the of this education programs that we currently have right now? How and how would you make money from that? All right, thank you.
So basically, we're going to be positioning ourselves in more of an awareness section. So it's more of an awareness program rather than, let's say, entertainment program. So we believe that the parents of the children that we're aiming to present this to, they're going to be more aware of the fact that our program is not just entertaining the children, but also is educating them. So that is our USP. And as we're going to be presenting, as we're going to be airing this program not only on TV programs, but also on Netflix and YouTube. So I think like we have 3 different channels that we're presenting it in. So we have 3 different sources of income. So I think in that way we can be competitive and profitable as well. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for one last quick question.
Okay, thank you very much for presentation. Please explain more details of cartoon.
Of the cartoon?
More details.
Okay.
How do you make the film?
Okay, so basically we're gonna start off with a very basic kind of a cartoon features, and we're gonna be dubbing it in like 4 different languages because we are from 4 different countries, so it's gonna be easier for us, and like the owners are gonna be involved directly as well. So for the animation part, we're gonna be hiring 2 animators, and so the design is going to be as simple as possible so that we can minimize our costs, as it's like targeted more towards information than entertainment. And yeah, so on the basis of that, it's going to show like stories about how, like, you know, if a lot of people come into your country and then they pollute your cities, and like what are the implications of that, like, you know, how can we improve that situation and stuff like that. Like, we're going to take examples, like simple examples from the activities that's already being practiced, and also activities that we're going to keep bringing up new ideas, and we're going to be animating accordingly.
In addition to that, our target group is actually focusing on younger generations who live in cities or areas near rivers or ocean as well, because especially near the oceans which are a tourism area. So we see like that it's important to make the younger generation acknowledge about the problem about the environment, so that they can develop and be aware and also spread awareness about how to create sustainable tourism, and as well as protecting their ocean commons.
Okay, thank you very much, Group E. We will be moving on to Group F next. Please, Group F, start sharing your presentation, and I will start the timer.
Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, great. We did some research on the plastic pollution overall. So the plastic kill a lot of species in the oceans, and specifically in Vietnam. So when the tourism activity arises, the number of plastic pollution is arise too. So we come up with the idea for 3R ecosystem. So 3R ecotourism. So it's learning by doing course integrated with the tourism. So the university lecturer and student will take the tourist through a process of recycling, reduce and reuse through the eco tour in some province in Vietnam, mostly in the coastal community, so that they know how to reduce their impact on the environment. And we will begin it in the beginning of 2022. The participation will need many of stakeholders like the local authorities who will make the policy and laws, and the local communities who understand the ecosystem, and the student and the university, they have the knowledge and the insight about how to make the circular economy, or how to make the best practice of the 3R. And the enterprise in the tourism ecosystem who bring the real-time practice on this 3R. So because more tourists will have more plastic waste, so we want to do this kind of course with a fun way, like a tour, so that we can mitigate the plastic pollution in Vietnam. And we based on the framework of 3R, and we want to aim to achieve some sustainable development goals like quality education, clean and sanitation, sustainable communities, climate action, life on ocean and life on land. So that's on, and we also have the logo, very beautiful here. So thank you.
Thank you very much. If that is the end of your presentation, we will move on to the questions next. Judges, please prepare your question.
Question? Yeah. Can I ask you, like, what's the most difficult issue that you feel when you implement this strategy?
Yeah, so I think the most difficult thing in Vietnam is the awareness of people. So the local community, like the coastal community, they are the vulnerable population who face a lot of plastic pollution, but they have no action because they lack of the awareness. And it's also for the young generation. So I think it's how to raise awareness among all of the stakeholders is the most difficult thing. And if we can do this, we can tackle the plastic issue.
So do you think like your money or budget is not a big issue?
I don't think so. I think on the corporate here in Vietnam, now we have more careness for the environment. We have budget for CSR activity every year. So it's just like we don't know how to make it most benefit as much as possible. So I think we already have the budget for that, and it's not like so expensive to do this. It's just like we don't know how to start, where to start.
Okay, thank you.
Judges, do you have any other comments or questions? We have time for one more question. But okay, if there are no questions from the judges, then we would like to move on to the deliberation stage. So judges, please finalize your mark using the online spreadsheet. And participants, you can take a 5-minute break, and we will get back to you in time. Actually, Tak-san, what time should we come back? 10分後とかでいいですか?
Supposed to be 1 p.m., 3 p.m. in Japan, 1 p.m. in Thailand, Vietnam. But if we can start early, that would be even better.
Okay, then we will start the deliberation with the judges, and we'll get back to you in 5 minutes. So participants, you can take a 5-minute break, and we will start after 5 minutes. Judges, please be sure to prepare your score sheet. Okay, everybody, I hope you have enjoyed your short break. We are back with the deliberation from the judges. Please be sure to check that at least one person is present from each team so you don't miss the following announcement. So firstly, I would like to emphasize that there are no winners or losers here. However, the judges would like to award some groups with gifts and certificates of participation for taking part in this program. And I was very much impressed by every single one of your presentations, so you should definitely give yourself a pat on the back. Please be sure to mute yourself if you're not speaking. Thank you. And I will be announcing the results next. So Tak-san, onegaishimasu, if you could go. This is the 4th, 5th, and 6th place. So we have teams A, D, and E who are receiving towels from Iriomote Island, and Iriomote Island beach clean bags. So teams A, D, and E, please everyone give these teams a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Next, we will move on to the 3rd place. In 3rd place, we have Team F. Congratulations, Team F. You will be receiving Iriomote Island towels and Iriomote Beach clean bags, but it's a different model from what was presented earlier. And moving on to 2nd place, we have Team B, Iriomote towel, model 1, model 2, and beach clean bags, which means that in 1st place, we have, drum roll, Team C. Congratulations, Team C. You will be going home with a limited edition Keen Company t-shirt, which is pictured here. And you will be receiving Iriomote Island towels, model 1, model 2, and a beach clean bag that you will be able to take home and use to clean your beaches. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to every single one of you who participated. We have the honor to receive a closing remark from Dr. Nopia Sasaki, who is the Professor of Technovation and Natural Resource Management at AIT. So let's hear from Dr. Nopia Sasaki. Onegaishimasu. Please go ahead.
But before that, okay, sorry, I saw a hand raised, but now it's already gone. And Narumi Sensei, I think you raised a hand also. What should I do?
I think she was clapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in this, 1 day's event. It's always my pleasure to attend these kind of meetings and, looking for ideas, listening how you are, doing brainstorming. It's really good. It's really very inspiring. But before that, I would like to say again, congratulations to the teams who got your towels, your t-shirts, whatever you got, that is your jobs. It was important that you make to this level. And, this is your achievement for the futures. And it's the first step for you. And also last night, before I forgot to say, we had a very, Halloween party here. I know that some of our students are still hangover. So I thank you very much for you staying with us until this last minute. Really good. And I also would like to thank the organizer for selecting the best topic for the discussion today, the ecotourism and the the waste management, plastic waste management. It's a very important topic, very high demanding topics. And again, look at the market size. If we can try to get into there, take ourselves into that, I think the market size for ecotourism is about $400 billion. And about plastic waste management is about $42 billion. So that is the market. Now you see the pond, you see the fish are inside. How you go and get the fish is up to you. And I saw that I saw the team put very nicely. For example, if I put it nicely here, the team number, team B, they were talking about enforcing the government policy to make sure that whatever they try to do, they do it by using the social media for pressing them. I think that one of the mechanism that would make things happen, because in each country you have political parties, you have different opposition parties. So which means with this kind of publicities, the opposition party can use it to attack the government to do things better, right? And then I think the team C, it's very good to look at, although we look at opportunity to reduce it, but we also look opportunity to change the behavior of the users, of the consumer, which is very good. I think this is also good idea to think how we can change the behavior of the people. That's the best thing to reduce plastics. And then I also like the idea of team number 1, who try to bring the plastics and make into something good that is useful. I just do a quick search on internet, and there are like at least 20 business ideas where you can use plastic for this purpose. Okay, I think that's very good point. And I think for the team, the Ego team effort, team F also very good idea that we look at how we can approach, how we can use the participatory approach to achieving ecotourism at the local area by cleaning the waste from the ocean. At the same time, you're also trying to bring the tourists, the tour company, to bring people in. So what is the best way you can chart this? Maybe you maybe try to look at how we can apply the willingness to pay for that. If you come to see a clean beach, how much you would pay more, and that pay more can be translated into the local community. Maybe you can think about social enterprise. That in addition to getting more money from the fee, you can also create some opportunities that local people can make something out of the plastic, and they can sell them back to the tours, because the tours that are coming to your community, they are already told that this community are clean, they are protecting the beach and the ecosystem. I think team number E also very good. You look at how you can put ecotourism as a main topic, and by bringing ecotourism there, you can encourage them to do things better, to behave better in terms of taking care of the waste that they are going to throw. So in short, I think you guys always come up with very nice topics, and I would like again to say congratulations to all the teams and all organizing committees, everyone here and there. You have done a good job, and thank you very much. Stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the closing remark. And as it was mentioned in the chat just now, please be sure to turn on your camera finally for a last group photo before we end the hackathon today. Note that certificates for participation will be issued and sent to the participants in the next several days. You will also be contacted for a logistic arrangement to transport the gifts that you will receive as a token of appreciation for participating in this hackathon. And please fill in the online questionnaire and give your feedback on this workshop. I will send this link in the chat. And there is also a Facebook community for this workshop. I think these links will be provided to you later on. But just for the time being, please everyone turn on your cameras for a final group photo. Okay, so are we ready for the photo? Who is taking the picture actually?
Wait a minute.
Okay, great.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Next page. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you all so much for your participation. Before you leave, please be sure to answer the questionnaire as provided in the link. And the next meeting will be in Idiomote Island, beautiful, beautiful island in Japan. So we hope to see you there on Idiomote Island. So thank you all for joining today. Be sure to answer the questionnaire and have a great Halloween and the rest of the day. Happy weekend, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, Komaki.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thank you very much, Komaki. And Hasni. All of staff, thank you very much. See you again.
Arigato, sensei.
Arigato.